ever be, I guess.
Oh, God, you guys are so fucking... Only 40 minutes. I'm pretty sure we're doing better than last week.
That's true.
That is true.
Hi, welcome to Nerd Play. I'm Dan, and with me as always is...
Jason?
Brandon.
Dan.
And joining us this week is a special guest, Rob Sabala.
Hey, what's up?
All right, so what has everybody been up to this week? Anything exciting, anything cool that you want to talk about? Anything happened to you at all this week that you guys just want to share?
I got a kitten.
That's exciting. That's actually pretty exciting.
That is pretty exciting. That's a big life change right
Yeah,
there.
no.
A
Having
lot of responsibility.
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't trained very well.
Did you adopt, or is this like a barn cat?
I woke up with it in my bed because my sister threw it in there and said, "Here, have a cat."
You woke up like that.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because if you wanted a cat that bad, you could have asked me, and I'd have just given you Zelda. You could have
Given
had
you
her, yeah. Anyone else been up to anything cool? Anything
really
cooler
come
than a
up.
cat?
Kitten. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I know something
I'm
that...
getting ready. I'm doing the nursery for my daughter when she gets here, but that's not...
Okay,
like,
Jason,
you know,
having a
that's not
daughter is
exciting
not as
yet.
exciting as a kitten, all right?
No, not even close.
It'll be more exciting when
Gosh.
she gets here.
You need to just let him talk about his cats more.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. This is called cat play now, and we're going to talk about kittens
Well,
and
the
cats.
the cat's a little asshole, to be honest. He's not
Oh.
very nice.
So it's a cat, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't blame the cat. It's not the cat's fault.
So I know for a fact that Jason, Brandon, and I have all been up to one thing this week, and that
Trying not
is
to melt.
Trying not to melt, and
Yep.
just putting way too much time into another mobile game.
Not Pokemon?
Not Pokemon. Oh, I mean, still Pokemon Go.
Oh, no, not me.
Of course not. But
Yeah, we know, Brandon. We know
we
you're
know
against Pokemon.
You're all Pokemon. No, thank you. We get it. That was horrible.
Yeah.
So let's
That's
talk
really
about this game. Jason, I'm going to let you introduce it because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh,
And you also have
I'm
the most
pretty sure
experience.
it's... Yes, I do. I do literally have the most experience in both realms there, in the game and in life with it. So I introduced you guys to a new mobile game called Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and I don't know. I don't know what Exvius means. Do you guys know what that word means?
It means
I'm not
15
sure.
ES, right? Final Fantasy 15 ES. It's gotta
That's
be.
what I thought. I'm like, are they just trying to pronounce the Roman numerals now? It's just like, fuck it. We're not gonna call it anything. We're gonna spell it as the Roman numerals are said.
It's gotta be a fucking tie-in. Every goddamn thing on Earth is a tie-in to Final Fantasy 15 that Square makes at this point. It's gotta be some kind of weird tie-in, and they're just like, well, we'll call it Exvius, but people are gonna look at it and be like, XV. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway, explain the game to everybody.
So anyway, it is a mobile game. It plays a lot like, I want to say more like one of the Super Nintendo titles. You've got your sprites. You run around. There's an open world aspect to the game. That's a loose term, open world, but it's more like you get to run around dungeons and find treasure chests, and you get into random
Can I
encounters
interrupt
there.
real
But
sick-
in order
real
to
quick?
unlock those? Yes.
I just want to say
Yes.
it's absolutely fucking not open world. Like there is very little open world about it. Go
Right.
on.
Right, it's more like dungeon. Like you're in a singular dungeon, you can walk around the dungeon, find treasure chests, do random quests, and get into random encounters in that dungeon. But in order to unlock that, you have to go through 3 set battles where you just have like, okay, here's a random battle with some guy, here's another random battle, and then maybe a boss battle. And then you get to go through the dungeon of the place you were just in.
Is it
I love that they say that it's like random, but it's absolutely like it's so formulaic that you could just be like, you're gonna definitely have 3 random encounters.
And then the boss. That's how
Yeah,
every
and then the
single
boss.
thing is.
Yeah.
It's not even random.
Right.
It's a line. There's a line across the top of the screen that says fight 1 of 4, fight 2 of 4, fight 3 of 4, boss battle! And then you
But
know.
when you're in the actual dungeons, you can get into random battles.
That's true.
When you're walking around the dungeon, you can get into random battles.
And it sucks because there's like a billion of them compared to like
Yeah.
the 4 in a quest.
Right, and you're like, I just want to find these damn treasure chests and get the hell out of Dodge, but I can't do that. I have to fight every single thing that comes my way. I will say one of the things that I love about this game is that it plays so smooth. The gameplay is amazing. It's fun. It's smooth. You've got all of your guys in a row. You don't have to like sit there and pick like, okay, now you attack. Okay, now you attack. Everybody can attack at the same time, and it actually gives you more points if you attack at the same time. You create chains. I don't know if you guys ever played the game Valkyrie Profile for PlayStation, but it reminded me a lot of the battle system in Valkyrie Profile.
Well, isn't it just, I don't know, it felt kind of like the battle system from like just the recent Final Fantasy games, like in 13 and shit like that, where it was like just kind of, it just went and you could press buttons as it was going, you know? Like it wasn't super turn-based. I mean, this is obviously more turn-based, but there's no timers. But I mean, it's not like, okay, Rain is going to attack, and then Rain's bitch boy is going to attack, and then whomever is going to attack. It's like, okay, it's the enemy's turn, now it's your turn. Enemy's turn, your turn. And when it's your turn, it's like, you can like adjust it. Like if you are going all physical, you can just be like, okay, I'm going to hit all 6 buttons at once. But if you're going to like, you know, be like, well, these two guys can do like a blizzard attack. Well, I'm going to do them at the same time, so I get the element chain, and then I'm going to do these two at the same time, and then this person, and then this girl's just going to heal everybody or something.
Right.
Well, and actually, I mean, saying that it was like Valkyrie Profile, like I like that game a lot, but my main complaint with it was that it was kind of like a glass cannon thing where you hit so hard to the point of meaninglessness, and then there were monsters that you'd run into that would just be like, oh, you're dead.
That doesn't happen in this.
Yeah, and this game is very much, it's like you have to level up to get to a certain point, and you can overkill in this. Like you can attack one guy with all of your characters and overkill him, or you can know that, okay, my guy's gonna do more damage to this monster, so I'm just gonna have my two guys attack him, and then have my next two guys attack the next one in the row, and that way you're not all wasting your attacks on one monster, which is a nice thing about it.
Although I'm still often wasting all my attacks on one monster.
You need to level your shit up, dude. Can we talk about the actual reason people play this game, though? Because no one who plays this game gives a flying fuck about the dungeons. No one gives a fuck about the horrible story. There's one thing about this game, and it has this in common with Pokemon Go.
Sabin.
Yes.
Sabin. That's the reason.
Sabin. Yes, that's the only reason anybody plays it. No, you can get characters from other Final Fantasies, older ones. Like Final Fantasy VI especially.
Is the newest.
You can get all the characters from there.
Oh, no.
What's that?
I was going to say it's the newest, but 9 is in there too.
9 is in there now too, yeah. I think 12 is in there as well, because you can get Fran.
Oh, you know what? So is 13, because if you can't get fucking what's-her-nuts... I forgot her name, that stupid fucking character
Lightning?
from 13. Yeah, Lightning. If you can't get Lightning and look at her pixelized armpits, then why the fuck is even the point?
Right?
If I can't see those polygons, if I can't see those under her arms, I'm not
I hate Lightning. Can I just get that out there? I fucking hate that character, and I just fucking don't like Final Fantasy 13.
I can't stand that game. The fact that they made 2 follow-ups to it just absolutely baffles me.
Well, that's because 13 was supposed to be like the PS3's version of Final Fantasy X.
Right.
I thought it was fine if you didn't plan on like any sort of feeling of wanting to play the old ones again, because the game was so streamlined. But I didn't think that was necessarily a bad thing.
I thought it was great if you had like no intention of actually ever, playing the game, because like the fucking tutorial is 30 hours long.
That's not the tutorial though. The game was just because it was streamlined, it was fast, it was easy to get through. Doesn't mean the whole game was a tutorial.
The thing that pissed me off the most is like you play for like 60 hours, and then you're like, oh, we got through like this Neo Tokyo looking place, and now we're in a field somewhere.
You're talking about Final Fantasy VII, and the reason I fucking quit playing it. That's what you're talking about.
Final Fantasy 13.
Well, that's the exact same shit that happens in 7.
It's the exact same shit that happens in pretty much every Final Fantasy, Dan.
Yeah, that sounds like Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 16, we're doing it on purpose.
I mean, well, 15... Actually, you're right. It starts off in the capital, and then you just go on a road trip with your bros to go fishing and shit. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Actually, well, I mean, did you guys play the demos for 15?
I have not.
I haven't played it either.
No one here has a console besides me and Brandon, so...
Right.
Well, I didn't get to play the original demo, the one that came with Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck, that weird Type 2 or whatever, diabetes. But I played the one that they released with a picture of a bunny rabbit bat unicorn thing. I forget what it was called. But it was the only one.
This game to somebody who was born 50 years ago, out of context, it would sound like you were having a stroke or a mental patient. Like you're just like the main character was a bat / bunny. It wasn't even really there.
It wasn't the main character. It was like the mascot, and it was called the Platinum Demo, and it was the first one that came out on the Xbox because the other one was PS4 exclusive, which is bullshit. There's so many PS4 exclusive demos, and it pisses me off.
This creature you're explaining sounds like Final Fantasy's version of like the jackalope or something.
Well, it's fucking stupid, but I mean, it does what it was supposed to do, which was like make people like Kayla go, "Oh my god, it's so cute." But the demo was super boring. Like, but the control, because it was like super easy, but the controls felt more akin to like Kingdom Hearts. Like it was still an RPG, but it was much more action RPG than going through submenu after submenu to attack somebody. So I feel like if the full game, like apparently like the original demo had like the combat was much more involved. So I'm wondering if it gets more involved as you play. And if that's the case though, if it's like action RPG with where the combat gets more and more involved, I bet I will play it. I'll almost definitely
So like
play
13, that's what you're saying.
No, because 13 was fucking set it and forget it. I'm going to tell the guys to fight, and then while they're fighting, I'm going to go through menus and pick my special attacks, and oh, here it comes, hit the button.
I really like 12 though because it played more like almost like an MMO.
That's because wasn't 12? I swear to God, 12 was just like
I liked 12.
They made a single player version of Final Fantasy 11.
Kind of, yeah.
Right, that's basically what it was. Yeah.
Which that's exactly like why it was like an MMO thing.
I actually kind of liked. Did anyone play Final Fantasy 14?
One online too. I haven't played that one.
It is online. It was free on PC multiple times, like to just try it out, and it was okay. I couldn't see paying money for it though. There's so few MMOs at this point where I'm like, yeah.
Did you try it after they like totally revamped it?
After the reboot, yeah, because the first when it originally launched, it was a pile of duty, and then
it was like that for a while.
And then when they relaunched it, or when they did like the reboot of it, and it made the game much better. It's like the Realm Reborn or something like that, or Realm Reborn.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like even in the title, they're like it's a refresh.
Anyways, I have to say though, the one thing that's pissing me off about Exvius is that we can't get Final Fantasy VII characters. I mean, what is that shit? Dude. I can't get Cloud. I can't get Tifa. I can't. What? Come on. I can't get Sephiroth. Are you kidding me?
I feel like it's intentional. Because that's the Final Fantasy everyone likes, right? So that's the one they're going to be like a big... Like probably when like 15... No, when 15 comes out, they'll probably add characters from 15. But I feel like they're saving it, right? For a special moment.
Yeah, they're going to. They're probably waiting for... When sales start to... When, it starts to lag a little bit, and then they're going to hit it.
Now you can get Cloud, and that little ninja girl, and the guy with the long silver hair, and...
Her name's Yuffie.
And you're going to hear like a million nerds everywhere just be like, shut up, let us give you our money.
Yes.
Now you can watch.
I will be one of those nerds.
Now you can watch the girl die all over again.
Maybe they're waiting for when they put out the remake in 3 installments over the next 17 years.
No, the next version of Brave Exvius is going to be all females, and one of the battle dynamics will be changing clothes.
Man, that was my favorite part of Final Fantasy X.
It's going to be called. Yeah, it's just going to be called like Final Fantasy Full Throttle, and that's exactly what it's called.
No joke, Kayla loves those movies, the Charlie's Angels movies. She thinks they're legitimately good. All right, do you have anything else you want to say about the game? I mean, I feel like we should talk. The way the summon system works, right? You get these tickets that are for rare summons, and then you get like friend points for garbage summons that you never summon ever, because why?
Yeah, why would you? I don't understand what the point of those things are.
I feel like you just buy them to feed your good guys.
Or like, okay, you use
this. That is a dark. Oh man, that is a dark world.
That's basically how it works, though.
you use this guy until you get someone better, basically. Like, I'm using an original white mage right now, but then when I get, like, Pinello from 12 or something like that, I'll
I'm
switch
totally
out
gonna
her
feed
for my white mage.
the white mage
Yeah.
into her.
I don't even see the point
Yeah.
of a white mage because no one ever gets either. Here's what happens, right? No one gets hurt like for shit, or they get killed in
Or
one
they're
hit.
dead all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, when you're in the vortex, it helps out a lot.
Baby, I live in the vortex. All right, it doesn't hurt me.
I can't get over this version of the Final Fantasy universe and where you're just basically taking weak, no-name characters to feed the stars of the.
That's what's happening. You're like,
Donald
hey,
Trump's
I summoned
Fantasy.
Golbez. He's 5 stars. I need to give him level 40 right now so I can awaken him and turn him into 6 stars. Hey, are you hungry? Because I got 2 cactars and 13 swordsmen. And that's basically the game. He's like, I'm starving.
Also, I'm pretty certain there is no 6 stars, so.
There is.
Yeah, there are.
There is?
Dan got a 6-star. They were rainbow.
No,
They were
those were
rainbow
5
encrusted
stars. Those were
diamonds.
5 stars.
The 5 stars are
Oh,
rainbow.
were they?
Yeah, but you can.
What?
I was reading on Reddit on how that you can get them up to 6 stars.
It shows 6 stars on like the rare summons with Locke, and
It does?
yeah, whatever the hell that guy's name is. What alt?
I got him.
Timios?
I don't know his name. I got him. The
What
archer
was his
dude.
name?
I have
Yeah,
no idea.
Artemios.
Guy from game I've never played. That's his name.
Guy from whatever. You just made this shit up.
That's that's the biggest bummer of this shit, right? Because you get these tickets and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get a character from a video game, and yeah, I'm gonna get Locke or I'm gonna get Kefka 5-star, hell yeah, and then it's like, no, you got Galooba and it's like, what the fuck game is Galooba from? You look it up. This 5-star drop is from, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Fuck off. I'm not using these tickets to get your like OC original characters. I don't want that shit. I want someone from my childhood. Yeah. I want the guy.
I will say-
I want the black mage from fucking Final Fantasy 9, and I want him right fucking now.
VV. Yeah, I've got him. I just got a 3-star VV, so I can.
Throw him in the trash
Feed him to my 4
where
star.
he belongs. 3-star. Don't wipe my ass with a 3-star character.
But I said I'm gonna feed him to my 4-star VV.
Fair enough.
Brandon, you were saying that Pokemon is a lot like cannibalism, but this game is definitely full-on cannibalism.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're fusing technically, but I mean, I fused with a pizza
Yeah.
last night.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm about to fuse with some egg rolls.
There you go. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this game anymore. Just go download it if you want to, unless you guys have something you really want to say about it.
No, I think that's I covered everything. I'm good.
Brandon,
Yep,
anything?
he covered the whole game for me, so.
Okay, well then let's move on. If you guys want to play it, it's on Android Play, whatever. It's on or Google Play. It's on the App Store on iOS. It's free. It's a good time sink when you can't find any good Pokemon around you.
Is it on the Windows
or the
phone?
servers are down.
So,
Who fucking cares?
Windows Phone. Yeah, sorry, Rob.
That was me, actually.
I know, but Rob has a Windows Phone.
Oh, Rob has one?
Yeah, no, I have a Windows Phone. I inherited it.
He found it in the garbage and he hooked it up to a lawnmower engine.
This will look really great next to my Zune and my Kin.
Fuck off, though. There's an
Exactly.
HD. It's tight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the Zoom actually.
I still have a Zune HD. It's serving me well.
I have one custom engraved on the back for me and Walsh. For
Nice.
me and Dan Walsh. Our special little inside joke.
I had a Palm Free once upon a time.
Dude, those things were tight as fuck. I wish that WebOS took off. Because I would be rich now and not doing this shit with you fucking losers.
I don't know.
But, so let's talk about, there was 2 trailers released this, I think they were released this week, right? I know one was at Comic-Con. One was released like yesterday.
Suicide Squad. Yeah,
No, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad's the 5th.
Oh, when it comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Suicide Squad.
We'll get there.
For sure.
That's next on the list.
But okay, so have you guys seen the Wonder Woman trailer?
No,
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
looking at it right
Yeah, I
now.
watched it this afternoon.
I'm gonna put a clip of it in the video. What did you guys think of it?
I think I saw your comment somewhere on social media earlier that it was a lot like, DC's attempt at Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I thought too.
Yeah, which I agreed with. I agreed with wholeheartedly, and I think they're trying to tap into that, like, what appears to be this like arc of nationalism that's going on in our country right now, and just like they're like, America's at war, like
Here
let's.
we go. Welcome to Nerd Politics.
This is the second time that's happened.
Second time we've gone to Nerd Politics. We should really just make it a new podcast.
It's pretty relevant, I'd
Good.
say.
Let's leave it as a small segment of the original podcast and then spin it off later.
All right. We
I
can
like
all
that.
talk about
Yeah.
how much we hate Trump and, I wish Bernie was elected, but fuck that. We're not going to talk about any of that shit. Wonder Woman, why does she have a shield?
Because she has a shield in the original comic. She has all of like the stuff that she has is like her original accoutrement. Like that's all stuff she had in the
Come
original.
on. The original Wonder Woman? That was like in 1940.
Yeah,
Post Captain America.
yeah.
My point is that Captain America still uses the
Isn't
shield.
that when the movie's taking place though? Is like
In
Ooh,
1940. Good point. That
It
is a
is,
good
yeah.
point. I just feel like people who, like, for the general public, Wonder Woman uses her fucking bangles.
The rope of truth or whatever that word.
her lasso of
that's
justice.
in the trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lasso of truth.
That is in the trailer. The
well,
lasso.
It is.
The
I
shield.
did not like the way it looked.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Like someone drew it on the film.
Yeah, like it was an MS
Yeah, right. Like
add-on.
like it was MS painted into her hand.
Yes.
I don't like the shield though, because, and here's why, Okay, maybe the original character, maybe she originally used a shield, but she doesn't now. She uses those fucking things that like cover like half her forearm, the gold bracers. And, when she has okay, so it's World War II, and she's using a shield. Hello, I saw this movie like 4 or 5 years ago, or whenever the hell it came out. And I liked it then, but it just reeks too much of Captain America. I feel like it's going to negatively impact.
Right down to the
Perception.
love interest clearly not making it to, future world.
Yeah, because he's obviously going to. Well, no, he
He's
gets
not in the
stuck in a
picture.
super time warp, and then he goes and pilots the USS Enterprise in the future.
Oh, I guess well, that's, yeah, okay. I saw that too. That was the first one where there's some sort of time warp. That's right. Okay. That shouldn't, it's all making sense.
Just joking about the fact that
Wait, did we just
the
cross
guy
over into Star
played
Trek?
her in the new Star Trek movies, Brandon.
Did you? Because if you didn't,
I think
realize
Brandon
it
was
about
going
to-
along with that, making the joke that in the first Star Trek movie there is like time travel, isn't there?
What about that one movie where there's the ribbon, like that ribbon that Whoopi Goldberg is talking about that comes through time and space and takes people? The one where Malcolm McDowell's the bad guy in the Star Trek movie. Has anybody seen that one?
Yeah, it's a
Is
good
that
movie.
Wales?
That's got what's his face? I forgot his name now. Anthony something. Is it Anthony Hopkins? No, it's the who's
It's
the bad
Malcolm
guy?
McDowell.
That's it.
You
Malcolm
already
McDowell.
said it.
You just said that, yeah. I that is the role I always remember him for.
See, I remembered him in Clockwork Orange, obviously, but Tank Girl is the one I remember him as the villain in.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot
Oh, see, I remember him from Franklin and Bash.
Do you guys remember that we're talking about Wonder Woman though?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm like, it's just fully silent.
But
Well, this doesn't bode well for Wonder Woman that she got sidetracked by Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
so what do you guys think though? I mean, do you want to see the movie? Like,
I
does,
think
does
so.
the trailer
I'll
make
see
you
it.
want to see it?
I mean, I saw Batman v Superman, so.
Ugh.
Yeah. I
endorsement, America's collective shrug. Like, yeah, I guess. Sure, whatever.
I mean, honestly,
I still have not seen Batman v Superman.
what's his
Me either.
face? What's his face from Star Trek being in it was a big selling point for me. It's like I
Yeah.
love that guy. I'm gonna see
He
this
has
movie.
lovely eyes.
I mean, he's a handsome dude. Can
No
we
human
agree?
should possess that beautiful of eyes.
I agree, 100%. Well, let's stay on comics then for a second. So, what do you guys? Let's talk about Suicide Squad. That's coming out, like Walsh said, on the 5th. What are your feelings on Suicide Squad? We'll let everyone else go first.
Okay, yeah. Then
Okay.
I'll go.
Anybody
Let everybody
go
jump
first.
in at once.
Walsh, what do you think of Suicide Squad?
I don't know, actually.
Well, glad we threw it to you.
Yeah.
Good throw. How about you, Jason? Do you have? I mean, you have to have opinions on this. You're like a big fucking nerd.
Hey, well, that's why I'm on this show.
That's why I'm on this show.
So I want to see it really bad. I thought that the promotional poster they showed for it, the promotional photo they showed for it, just looked like the rejects from Michael Jackson's cast of Thriller. But now the more I see it, I really like. The more trailers I see for it, the more I really want to see this movie. The more I'm really getting hyped for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks pretty awesome. It looks cheesy and campy at times, yes, but I think it's going to deliver.
I
think there's something they're not telling us. Yeah, there's something they're not telling us in the trailers, which I like, and I'm anticipating that it's going to be like it's just really going to deliver. I think.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Honestly, I mean, at first I was just like, Suicide Squad. Who cares? I don't care. I don't want to see it, you know. But the more I see of it, the more I get into it. You know, like the trailers. These are some of the best movie trailers I've seen. I feel like in a while. Like as far as building hype, these and like the Ninja Turtles 2 trailer are like tied for like, holy fuck, dude, you're getting me way too excited about a movie I was like kind of like about. Because they look so good.
They spent a lot of money on those trailers.
Well, it's money well spent. I mean, they're great. And like I was super iffy, but like, okay, can we just talk about some of the actors that are in it? Like RoboCop is fucking in it. Joel Kinnaman, you know, the guy who played in the new RoboCop movie. Fucking Jake Courtney is in it. You know, Jack McClane's son, or John McClane's son from Die Hard. And what else is he in? What else is he in? Terminator.
The Allegiant movies or whatever. What are they called?
Insurgent.
Yeah. Those the new Terminator. He played John Connor's daddy.
Yeah.
Will Smith. Okay. Jared Leto. Okay.
I don't know what Will Smith is doing in this movie.
What is Will Smith from?
No, well, I know what he's literally.
I think he's just there to.
I don't understand why an old rapper is in this.
Yeah, was Ice Cube not available?
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to get Ice-T, but they said they didn't know.
Actually,
he said
they
he was
wanted
sick
to
of
get
cop
LL
dramas.
Cool J. They wanted LL Cool J for that role, but they were like, we'll probably go with Will Smith.
Actually, LL Cool J in that role is kind of intriguing.
Shut up. You know who I think would be good?
He
Is
was
if they
also
had
in Deep Blue Sea.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
No,
playing.
let's stop in a second and talk about LL Cool J and Deep Blue Sea.
Stop
Let's
for a
fucking
second and
not.
talk about Deep Blue Sea.
Let's not. Can we talk about how Margot Robbie...
That's all you could talk about it for was a minute.
Margot Robbie is such a good fucking Harley Quinn. Like, at least based on what I'm seeing from the trailers, like the look and the way that she behaves, like the way the persona that she is exuding in all these trailers and promotional stuff is like amazing. It's like better than in the Arkham series.
Her star has risen so fast from when she was basically, you just thought she was eye candy in Wolf of Wall Street to, like, her acting is actually genuinely worth watching with like every subsequent movie she's in. It just seems to get better.
I haven't seen Tarzan or Whiskey Tango Foxtrot yet, but
I actually did see Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. She was pretty good in that.
But I mean, she just she exudes what I imagine Harley Quinn would be like. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Perfect. Yeah, no, she's got that like dangerous kind of aura.
Dangerously sexy, you know, like God, she's hot, but she might kill you.
Yeah. And she might really enjoy it, which is even, I don't know if it's scarier or sexier.
Yeah, there's a scene in one of the trailers where I forget what his character's name is, like Agent something, RoboCop's character, like the guy who's been hired.
Agent Flack. What? I don't know.
Yeah, but the guy who's like hired by Amanda Waller, Viola Davis's character, to like lead the squad.
Flank. I think it's Agent Flank.
But he's talking about like how if they do anything to like annoy him or bother him, basically whatever, that they're dead. And like she like cuts out like vex him, and she goes like, I'm known to be very vexing, and he's like, then you die. And she like immediately cuts to his face like where she looks like like she's gonna like cry or something like that. Just like, oh, like just super offended and sad, you know. And it's like that kind of quick cutting between emotional states feels very Harley Quinn to me. Like I have high hopes for this movie, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people are upset about the way she looks.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
I mean,
They took a lot of artistic license with everybody in this movie. I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
Captain Boomerang looks not like an asshole.
yeah, yeah. Captain Boomerang like isn't wearing a trench coat that has gigantic, almost clown-like lapels. So I mean, there's something.
They
there
actually
to be
made
said.
Captain Boomerang not look laughable. So I mean, good for them, honestly.
In the first round of
Yeah.
trailers, he was my favorite actually. Like I think he had the most personality.
Yeah, I think he does too. Honestly, he looks really like he's gonna be like a good oh jeez, like he's going to be a good what's the word I'm looking for? Comedy
Comedic relief.
yeah, comedic relief. He's gonna be really good at comedic relief. But what do you guys think of Jared Leto?
Are the same people that real quick, are the same people that are upset with how Harley Quinn looks also the ones who made the Ghostbusters trailer the most unlike thing on YouTube ever?
You know, they probably are.
Yeah, that's definitely the Venn diagram is pretty much one and the same between those.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there, I'm sure.
Yep.
I mean, probably the same people that hate everything on the internet.
They just think she's overly sexualized. Is what I think.
Or
they're
just
upset with.
women in
She's
general.
always been
People hate
overly
women.
sexualized. Even in I mean, she was overly sexualized in the Batman
the
cartoon.
series.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
when
there
I
was a
realized I
scene-
liked women.
Yeah.
There's a scene where she like comes out of a giant pie and she's naked with all like this custard dripping off her body, and it was a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing that when I came home from school. Like
What?
I remember that scene.
Have you played the games, the Arkham series? Like they go out of their way to sexualize her.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
What do you guys think of Jared Leto, though?
I'm worried.
I think it's gonna be fine.
I think so too.
I think he's going to do a great job as the Joker. I think that I was telling Dan about this the other day, that I was just saying that like I think that the marketing team that put this together is brilliant, but also like they're just like, okay, so let's find the most expensive and disgusting ways to market this film, like, and then somebody's just like, it's like a group of people with Tourette's, there's like anal beads, and then somebody's just like, brilliant, like.
I forgot about
Totally
that,
new-
about the
Yeah.
beats.
What? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
The Jared Leto sent somebody anal beads like on the set.
I don't think that was promotion. I think Jared Leto's literally fucking insane.
I don't think so.
Well,
I
he
think it's
spent
like-
time like hanging out with doctors and spent some time with some psychopaths.
Yeah, he went out of his way to act and
Method acting.
aside.
Yeah.
Can we just do an aside here? Walsh, I'm not gonna put this in the actual final version. The new bed looks good.
The what?
The new bed.
I think you should definitely leave that in. I think that's.
Agreed.
Okay, we're gonna cut at the cat.
Better than the cot I was sleeping on.
We're gonna cut back in at the meow. I think Jared Leto is going to be a good Joker, honestly. Like at first I was like super like, what in the hell is this? But like the more I like saw footage of it and saw footage of him, I think even though he doesn't look like, the Joker we know, he doesn't look like the Killing Joke Joker. He doesn't look like the Joker from the animated series or from the other movies or whatever. I feel like the way he acts, like he comes across very, very much like the Joker. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And his laugh is so good.
It
It's
is
different.
really good.
And it doesn't sound like the one we're used to. It doesn't sound like the Mark Hamill Joker laugh, but it sounds
It's like out of control. It's really measured almost.
yeah, it sounds almost like scarier, like an insane person laughing.
Yeah.
Like something you'd hear in an insane asylum. And I like that. And yeah, he looks like all gangstery and whatever, but I mean, you see a lot of footage of him like wearing like he's dressed in like the purple shirt and the green tie and all that shit. Like he looks very Jokerish in what he's wearing.
Yeah.
Like in the scene where he jumps in what I'm assuming is a vat of chemicals or whatever to pull out Harley. I don't know. I just think the movie looks good. I want to see it. I'm
I wanna
looking
see
forward
it,
to
too.
it. Does everybody want to see it? Who wants to see it?
I want
want
to
to
see
see it.
it. I think it'd be cool.
All right, everyone wants
I think
to see
we
it.
should I think we should all go to the theater and run the next podcast from the theater while we're watching it.
Yeah, with a video camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legal, probably.
Right? Yeah, I know. Totally legal.
Let's just make it a commentary track, like a DVD.
There you go.
Yeah.
Us just talking about it. It's so weird. Brandon's mic shows muted even when he's talking.
No, I'm clicking on and off because we're making a little bit of noise over here.
Ah, I see. So, have you guys all seen the trailer then for the new Final Fantasy movie?
Yes. If the guy who Aaron Paul voices doesn't say bitch at least once, I'm walking out of I'm never playing Final Fantasy ever again. That's
Okay.
it.
If Sean Bean's character doesn't die within the first third of the game, I'm never playing Final
It's not a game. It's a movie.
Fantasy. The movie,
The
whatever
movie.
you
The
know.
actual movie.
He's going to die. He has to.
He has to die. There's
The
no question
contractual
about it.
obligation.
I mean, I think it's in Sean Bean's contract. Like, that his agent gives out. This
What
character.
a contractual obligation is.
He's just like waiting with bated breath for the day that somebody's just like, "Hey, Mr. Bean, we want you to make it to the third act, buddy.
He's like,
Like, we really do."
well, that's the thing is like he's really good at first, but he just caves in the end. Like he's like flubs his lines, his accent changes. Like he just can't do it, so they have to kill him off.
Not for the whole feature length of the movie.
Yeah, he just can't do it. But no, so it's called KingsGlaive, Final Fantasy 15.
So is that the name of the ship
I don't know.
or the weapon that they're using?
They call it the
Because
glaive
it's like at one point.
in the trailer.
Yeah, they call it the glaive at one point. Yeah.
And it's got, I mean, as far as I can tell, the only notable celebrities in it are Aaron Paul, Sean Bean, and Lena Headey. Headey? It's
Sounds
got-
about right.
it's got an eight.
Package deal, like essentially, like we'll only take Sean Bean if we can get Lena Headey with it as well.
Fuck that. Sean Bean's more important than she is. He was in fucking Lord of the Rings. What was she in? Fucking Judge Dredd?
She was. Oh, don't you even talk about Judge Dredd in the pejorative. That movie was amazing.
Dredd was awesome.
That movie delivered on everything that it promised. Like,
You know what it didn't deliver on?
What?
Judge Dredd going, I am the law! I am the law!
But no, because Judge Dredd was a comic book. Like it was a comic book, and the Sylvester Stallone thing like ruined the like.
I liked the Sylvester. I
Totally
read Judge
destroyed
Dredd, and I liked the Sylvester Stallone movie.
With Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
That.
And it had the
Had a
fucking.
traumatic brain injury.
It had the
Like,
fucking robot
totally
dude in
saw
it
it.
and shit. The fucking robots were in it, and like I wish those were in the fucking new one. That was like I loved the design of those guys. I don't know. And I love Carl Urban. I thought that movie was okay. I didn't think it was that good.
I thought it was great. I thought it like I was worried that it was gonna be like the remake of Conan when they redid Conan and they were like, the first Conan was like Vikings and then the second one was kind of like protein shake. Like if you had to make an analogy, like it was just so weird, like it just didn't seem to. I didn't like it.
The first one was Vikings. The second one was protein shakes. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, it is.
The second one was more like, weird like monsters and wizards and stuff like that, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean it had Jason Momoa on it, or was it?
Right.
Yeah, and something like that. And anyway, he was good in it. It just I didn't think that the story was that great, and it certainly wasn't certainly wasn't the remake of Judge Dredd. That's for sure.
I think for me with Dredd was that it came out like during a time of a bunch of shitty remakes. I mean, there was Total Recall, which was
Yeah.
awful,
That was
but I liked it. I've watched it like fucking way too many times. And
Hard to take your eyes off Colin Farrell. I know.
can you blame me? And
I don't blame
Is
you.
this episode of our podcast just going to be me crushing on beautiful guys the whole time?
so it's just like real life.
I think that's gonna be every podcast.
Yeah. And then there was
There's nothing wrong with
RoboCop came out around that time too. The RoboCop remake
Yeah.
to bring it back to Suicide Squad, and then Dredd, and I was like, all three of these are just. I felt like Dredd. I don't know. Like, It felt so limited in scope, and I didn't feel like it really explored the character at all.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that. I think that it stayed true to the idea of the comic that there was nothing really more to him. He wasn't terribly conflicted. He didn't have like a
Right.
moral crisis about what he was doing. He was just like an obsessed cop. Like,
I feel like
Yeah.
the way I should word this is that if you didn't read the comics, the movie was confusing as fuck.
Okay,
That's a fair
see that.
statement.
Yeah,
That's a fair statement. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's good though. Maybe Dredd. I mean, I don't. It didn't do very well in the box office, right? But
No, I don't think it did.
people who like it love it. So maybe it's nice that they actually made a comic book movie for the fans of the comic book as opposed to for the general public.
That director does a lot of really cool stuff too. I can't remember his name, Ravi something.
Robbie
But he did a couple shorts.
It's
He did a
Rob
Punisher
Schneider
short
that's
with-
who made it. Yeah.
Rob Schneider.
yeah, Rob Schneider, obviously. But he did a Punisher short called Dirty Laundry, which
Oh, that's
if you
phenomenal.
haven't seen it, it's so good. Same guy directed Dredd.
I'm gonna put a
that did
link to
that.
that in the description.
I'm gonna get
Like,
really frustrated if I find out that guy was supposed to do the second Punisher movie and got pushed out for that piece of crap that they actually ended up making.
Well, I mean, the guy who stars in the second Punisher movie, is the same guy who's in the skit. I forgot his name.
Tom Jane.
Yeah, Tom Jane.
Tom Jane.
I Frankenstein.
You're
yeah.
very sweet. You're very sweet, but I'm Tom Jane.
But I mean, so yeah, that's how we all feel about the Final Fantasy movie. Is that is that Judge Dredd is a good movie?
I just don't know why Square Enix is spending so much time trying to get these Final Fantasy franchises to take off in other directions. Just spend more time and make a good fucking game.
It's
Why
this
don't you just
one
do that?
specifically. They're busting balls on this one. You know, I mean, Advent Children was about Final Fantasy VII, but it was also about 20 years after Final Fantasy VII came out.
Right.
I mean, for this game, they have like multiple demos. They have the game itself, the movie. I mean, you know, they're doing other promotions like probably.
You got this, the mobile game that has something to do with it, obviously.
Yeah, it must. I mean, it's in the
Well,
fucking
this
name.
isn't this a closer realization to their plan of they originally for Final Fantasy 13 they had like 9 different versions slated to come out or something like that.
That is true.
And this game is actually one of those versions that they just kept working on, and it turned into a thing of its own. So
It looks better than Final Fantasy 13, though, to me.
It looks
that's
10
that's
times
not
better.
weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks a lot nicer.
But
I'm
that's,
sorry, Brandon.
Okay, but that's not my point. I'm saying that was their plan. You know, what was that, 6 years ago or something like that, 5 years ago, to have all these different things hit at the same time. Obviously, they thought that was a lucrative idea back then and just didn't have the ability to follow through on it. And now, I guess, all
Yeah.
that Tomb Raider money.
I was gonna say they must have the budget for it. I mean, they're a big company. It's not like they're constantly posting games on Kickstarter or anything.
Well, I guess they almost.
No,
got-
I was making a joke. They post a new game on Kickstarter like every 2 fucking months.
They do.
I was gonna say they've almost been bankrupt so many times.
They have like I constantly get emails from Square like, okay, pick one of these 3 games to go up as a new Kickstarter game, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna vote for a game. I'm not gonna.
Oh, but
support
that was part of an initiative that they started a while ago, where they were like, basically, we'll fund 10% of the game if you can get the rest funded on Kickstarter or something like that. That's all. I think that's all independent stuff.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember
maybe.
That was like a couple years ago that they started that initiative where they were trying to give independent developers a chance to work with them, basically, for them to publish the games if they could reach a certain milestone on Kickstarter.
All right. Well, I want to talk about to change the topic, if you guys are okay with that. I would like to talk about a new series that started on Netflix.
That none of the rest of us have seen.
Yeah, which is insane. I don't know how you guys haven't watched this yet, because everyone I know has been like, "Have you watched it? Have you fucking watched it?" It came out on the 15th, so like what, like 2 weeks ago, a little over a week ago. a little over a week ago, Stranger Things. It's a Netflix original starring Winona Ryder and some other people probably. I don't fucking actually know the names of any of the other actors or actresses. I think she's the only like famous one on the show.
One.
Yeah. But this is a phenomenal show. Like, I would say hands down, this is the best Netflix original that I've ever seen.
That's a strong endorsement.
Better than House of Cards, better than Daredevil.
Better than Daredevil? Whoa.
Better than Daredevil. Do they make other
It's gotta
shows
be
that are
good,
good?
You know that they're doing the Punisher spinoff from the Daredevil thing. Side note.
Yeah, the guy from Walking Dead as a Punisher.
Better than Jessica Jones?
Better than Jessica Jones. Daredevil's better than
I've
Jessica
never seen
Jones.
that show.
Yeah, Daredevil's better. Yeah.
You should watch Jessica Jones. It's really good.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It is
Anyway,
really good.
so fuck talking about comic books, you nerds. Jesus. Stranger Things is a series that takes place in 1983 in Indiana. I'm not sure how many of you really experienced childhood in the 80s.
Yeah, I was noticing
I
that.
was born in '84.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right on.
We're also
So you guys are okay then. Walsh, you're in '83, so you're okay. But this show is spot fucking on. Like, you know, it's not like one of those shows where like, oh, it takes place in the '80s. Look, here's what we think the '80s looked like. The show is like, it's like being in a fucking time machine to the '80s. It's like so weird, and it's about there's like there's one overarching story, but it follows like two plots basically. One featuring 3 boys and a friend they make. Or these guys are guys who play Dungeons and Dragons together, and they're like best friends, you know, like this inseparable. And then about Winona Ryder's character and the sheriff, and then there's another subplot about this teenage girl and just being a teenage girl basically at first, and then it's like, oh shit, things got weird. And that's basically, oh shit, things got weird is basically like the subtitle of the show. Like, because it starts off super normal. You know, kids playing D&D, whatever. And then, like, you don't know what to expect, really. I didn't know anything about it. First episode, some crazy shit goes down, and then, like, the crazy train just never stops. Every episode, shit gets weirder, and Stranger Things is, like, the perfect title for it. But it reeks of Goonies, and it reeks of E.T., and it
Can
just...
I ask a
Winona
question?
Ryder is in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
The
can I
show?
ask a
That's
question
awesome.
about it's a sci-fi or to sci-fi to an extent show that takes place in Indiana in the 80s. Is this a reboot of Erie, Indiana in any way, shape, or
No.
form? God damn it.
It actually it's like sci-fi, almost sci-fi horror, like, because it gets like some of the shit that happens is just like what, but like, I mean, like, if you watched, you know how like those adventure movies that we all love from the fucking 80s where it's always like,
Yeah, the Goonies.
yeah, or like Stand By Me, or fucking, you know, just like these movies with like a group of young kids going on some like crazy fucking adventure, you know? And it's like, it reeks of that. And it's just amazing. It's like, you want to watch more of it, you know? Like, you do, it's like, oh, I have to be at work in 3 hours. One more episode.
How long is the series?
8 episodes long, and each episode I think has a runtime of probably like 45 minutes to an hour. But it's a great program, and you know, filler words.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, but the way they capture
You have a degree
emotion.
from a state college, Dan. You show pride.
The way they capture emotion and stuff
okay.
like that in the show is just like everyone just feels real. Everything feels rooted, despite like all the crazy shit that's happening. The characters are 100% believable. You know, the neighborhoods are believable. The way they interact with each other is believable. The kids ride fucking banana seat bicycles and wear like puffy fucking coats. You know, I
still wear puffy coats.
the sodas have pull tabs, shit like that. Like,
Nice.
Wait, are you trying to tell me they didn't go out and get the license to use starter jackets?
It was 1983. No one was wearing starter jackets.
Yeah, they were.
Well, that was the 90s.
That was more like the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was like 1993.
I had like a Bulls pullover starter jacket.
I had a Bears one.
Nice.
The pullover for sure.
That didn't actually help at all with any sort of inclement weather.
No.
in the Midwest.
No, and then
You
like
looked hell freezing off your ass off.
yeah, and it was like super fun to take on and put on. Like, hey, I gotta put my coat on. Hold on. But
It
no,
was
I mean,
awesome for the podcast format.
Yeah.
Audio.
this show though, I mean, you have to watch it. It's on Netflix. You know, it's only 8 episodes, and
Yeah, we will watch it and reconvene Sunday and talk more about it.
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good to me. Okay,
I'll watch it.
and then reconvene. You better fucking reconvene, you son of a bitch.
That's the important part.
Yeah, that's much more crucial to the plan.
All right, so that gets us on to next gen shit, VR, and all that bullshit.
Vomit inducing. I've like it's a lot of fun. I got to play one VR like rig like 2 weeks ago, and it was a ton of fun. It was just like, oh wow, I got to stop for a second and just like throw up everything that I had for the last 2 days.
That's unfortunate.
A
So
lot of nausea.
Rob
Like-
played on the Vive, right?
Yeah.
I can't even watch
What did you play?
I played a couple of those the Valve like Slingshot, the core game, like core Slingshot, where they're all the cores from the Portal game. They're like the reject cores that like didn't get chosen to be the mainframe computer, and so there's just like a bunch of like like psychotic personalities.
That's a part of the lab.
Oh, the lab. That's right.
By Valve.
Yeah. And yeah, I played that, and then I played like a castle defense game, like a bow and arrow castle defense game, which was a lot of fun. And I felt really good about myself until my friends started playing it, and then I realized that they were amazing shots.
Also a part of the lab.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was really cool. It's just really disorienting.
You played Job Simulator, right?
I did play Job Simulator, and I was really happy with how fast it like sent me back to like 2001, like working in a gas station, and like just made me a really angry, mean-spirited person. I was like dumping ketchup all over the counter and like.
Are you guys familiar with Job Simulator?
Like throwing it.
Like, have you guys heard of Job Simulator? Have you guys seen this game?
No.
I haven't seen. I've heard of it.
I have not.
I know about it, but I've never watched videos.
It's basically a game where you play as a little robot, and you either work as a mechanic at a convenience store or in an office. And like supposedly you're supposed to do the work, but everyone just fucks off and does whatever they want when they
You
play.
just try to
Yeah, that's what they want to do with their
You
real
just try
job.
on like the customer's clothing and.
Yeah, like as the convenience store clerk, like a customer comes in and he has glasses, you can take his glasses off his face and put them on yours. Or like you can like fill like I know there's a guy who smokes a pipe and you can like pour hot sauce in his pipe if you want and stuff like that, and or just take the pipe from him.
You can take anything, any of the items that you take, you can put in like the giganticizer and make a giant version of it and still use it, which I thought was the most fun. Just like smoking from a giant pipe and putting on like a giant hat.
I think the funniest thing for me is there's like a guy who comes in to rob the place, and he's using a banana as a gun, and he's like, "Give me all your cheese, give me the cheese." And like if you open the safe, it's full of chunks of cheese.
And if you take his banana, like another banana regenerates, so you can have like an infinite banana like spawn.
It's so funny. And then the cops will come and ask you like, "Who was it?" Like, we know this guy came and robbed you. What did he look like? And you can like rat out somebody else. Be like that businessman.
Yeah.
The whole game looks super silly and super fun.
It was really cool. It was dope.
So the Vive, like we said, the Vive is one of the headsets that is out now. I don't know if you can buy one now, but it's out now, and that's from Valve and HTC. And it features room space where you can you have these two lighthouses, they're called, little black boxes you put in like the corners of your room, and then it can track you in 3D space. Just be careful of the cable. You go
Yeah.
trip and kill yourself.
Yeah, that thing, the cable was probably my least favorite part about it was that I was constantly knocking it like loose and fucking up the whole system basically because of because it's just not very well thought out actually.
Yeah, and well, they make backpack computers now that are capable of running VR that you just wear on your back, which seems like, am I in the fucking army? It seems like a lot of weight to be schlepping around with you when you're like, hugging and
That also
kissing anime
seems
characters
like,
in VR.
yeah, that seems like people are already getting into enough accidents with Pokemon Go. I can't even imagine someone walking around with a backpack and a VR
Like
unit.
walking down the
people are
fucking
dying
street.
everywhere.
You can have like a
I
little
think people-
window, you can
yeah.
have a little window that like shows you the real world, like there's a camera on the front of the helmet.
Yeah, the Vive has a little camera that overlays what's in front of it into your view if you get like too close to a wall or to a desk or something like that.
Yeah, which nobody would pay attention
Well,
to.
I have a
and the
window-
whole world would just be filled with like Hans Molmans type people who are just like crashing, knocking things over. And
I was gonna say
No, you
most of your
got it.
vision when you're playing Pokemon Go is not your phone, and people still manage to.
Yeah.
That's
Walk
what
into
I'm
the
saying,
street.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. Actually, we started a little bit late, so I gotta bow out right now.
All right, Rob, it was nice to have you here, man.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
I'll see everybody next week, hopefully.
All right.
All right, yeah, I'll be here.
I probably won't, but whatever.
Uh,
Oh.
I like that I'm not getting any crap for leaving in the middle of it, and he's like getting.
Yeah, we're just gonna give Brandon crap.
Yeah, just, like, he's dead to us.
Fucking son of a bitch.
All right, I'll see you guys
All right.
later.
Yep.
All right,
Rob.
bye.
All right, so the other headset that's out is the Oculus Rift, which supposedly has a slightly better screen, but for the moment doesn't have room space. Uses like a fucking Xbox controller. And I'm sorry, I got distracted. I got distracted by Brandon because he was full screen muted, not talking.
And he's just staring right into your eyes.
He was.
Hi.
It's like he thought I was. It's like he thought I was Captain Kirk or something. I was like, oh my god, buddy.
I would never make that mistake.
But yeah, so the Oculus
Oh.
Rift, supposedly slightly better screen and like lighter, but the control it doesn't have the touch controllers out yet, which are coming out, but they just aren't out yet. And people are really upset about the fact that Facebook owns them, for one, or doesn't own, but owns, right? Facebook bought them.
Yeah, they own it.
And that there are games that are timed exclusives to the Oculus. Like, Oculus has games that are out now that you can only play using the Oculus software. And you can't just, like, sideload them through Steam or whatever. You can now. There's a third-party program that someone invented that lets you do it. But they put in a thing that blocked it. I don't know if they did it intentionally. I think it was to block piracy, but it also blocked that. And people got really upset about it. But I feel like the thing is people don't realize, like, Oculus actually, I mean, there was such a blowback on this that they actually released like a video explaining everything, saying that these aren't exclusives. These are games that needed extra funding. We gave them extra funding. And we were like, look, just make sure your game will work on the Rift. So their games were like, they devoted time to making sure the Rift version ran first. But they, the guy, like Palmer Luckey himself has said, well, when this game comes out, when it's ready to run on the Vive, it'll come out for the Vive. We're not saying it can't.
This is another case of the internet just being upset. Like, oh no, this company wants to make money off of their product. How dare they? Just give it to me.
Absolutely.
It's so dumb.
I agree completely. And I think a lot of it, too, comes from, there is, like, rabid fanboyism for the company Valve.
Yeah.
You know? And I like Valve, but I don't love Valve. You know, they're still just trying to make money. Just like Apple, just like Microsoft, and just like Oculus. And people act like they're like...
The problem is Valve makes money hand over fist without even seeming to try. Like, have you guys heard about the whole CS:GO lottery thing that's been going on the last couple weeks?
Yeah, the gambling over weapon skins.
Yeah, but buried in all that is the fact that the community makes all of these weapon skins for Valve, and Valve is making like hundreds of millions of dollars off of community-made skins, and the community gets a small kickback. Like, if you're very good, you can actually make quite a bit of money, but Valve makes even more money. And that's the thing. They don't have to try. They put out a product that people love and then proceed to make a bunch of money off of all their basically subcontractors. And so they can afford to take more risks and look more benevolent, when in reality they just have a cheaper, like almost hidden way of making money so that they can still have the appearance of being this like amazing company who's out for the gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's Half-Life 3?
Where's Portal 3? Those are the only two games I care about. Does Valve even make games anymore? Really?
I was going to say, where's any game?
Yeah. CSGO was the last game they made, right? I guess unless you count the lab. Unless you count the lab for the Vive. The thing I don't like about the Vive is it's made by, like, Oculus is made by Oculus. You know? Like, it's all inclusive, they're all encompassing when it comes to from the software to the hardware to everything. They're doing it the way they want it done. The Vive is made by HTC. And, I mean, this is like personal bias. I've owned multiple HTC phones, and I've thrown away multiple HTC phones. You know? And so I don't know how much I trust HTC, honestly. Like, and is this going to be like a Nexus situation? Like, is the next Vive going to be made by some other company? You know? Like, I just don't know. I don't really like it. I don't like HTC, and I don't, it sours the Vive for me. That and the fact that it's ugly as fuck.
I mean, the good thing about HTC making it is they are a hardware company, so that's what they specialize in. They already have some idea of how that ecosystem works and how the supply chain works for making hardware. Now, are they the best hardware company? Would you rather have Sony? Well, Sony's making their own. So are you more interested in like a Sony VR? Because they're a really good hardware company that's also coming out with their own VR headset.
Well, and that's another thing too, is when it comes to these headsets, and people are like, oh, no exclusivity. But the Vive is PC exclusive. That's it. The Morpheus, or PSVR, whatever they're calling it, is PlayStation Neo exclusive.
Yeah.
And the one thing I do like about the Oculus, as someone who, you know, games in both the Xbox environment and on PC, is that it'll work on both the Xbox and on the PC. Anyway, that's Nerd Play for this week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan. You can find me on Twitter at DanCrum.
I'm Jason. You can find me on Twitter at JasonFrummer.
I'm Brandon. I'm on Twitter at Nimsels.
I'm Walsh, and you can find me on Twitter at Danny2Hats, but I've never used it, so I'm gonna have to start using it.
At least he's being honest, right? But yeah, that's it for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. We just put a review for the game Lovely Planet Arcade live. Make sure to check it out if you get a chance. Great game, $6. So cheap. Everyone should buy it. That includes you, Walsh. But yeah, that's it. This has been Nerd Play. Thanks for joining us. God, every time.